Cars now lining up on the grid for Heat 2, Round 2 of the Shell Australian Touring Car Championship, and this is the way they line up. Craig Lowndes now has the pole, courtesy of his heat victory in the first. John Bowe alongside him on the front row, then Peter Brock and Wayne Gardner.
Out of row 3, Mark Scaife and the Gibson Motorsport Commodore with Glenn Seaton in the Ford Credit Ford. Row 4, Russell Ingall in the Castrol Commodore and Dickie Johnson in the Shell FAI Falcon.
And the fifth row occupied by car 11, Larry Perkins, and car 301, Alan Jones. All eyes are on the youngster, car 15, Craig Lowndes. John Bowe alongside him, but Lowndes with a premier pole position now for Heat 2. Bowe off to a better start this time, and it's Lowndes who bogs it down, and the Shell FAI car is going to have the run to the first turn.
Look at that great start by the Cape Commodore. Wayne Gardner, though, leaves them all stranded and manages to charge through from the second row to lead them into the chicane. Fantastic start from the former motorcycle champ. Up toward corner onto the back straight. Lowndes shuffled back a little bit there. Dick Johnson in amongst the pack. As they come up the back straight for the first time, it's Gardner with Bowe in second. I think it's Lowndes in third, then Mark Scaife in fourth. Glenn Seaton in fifth position as they take the top of the rise, 260k, flying down through the S's for the first time. This is the sort of start Wayne Gardner would have been praying for, Bradley.
Oh, he certainly would have. He got the car off the line beautifully, and I thought John Bowe got a great start, but they're certainly into it here. It's a sensational start by the Coke team.
Yeah, I think John Bowe probably thought he was going to breathe a little easy for a minute, that he had Craig Lowndes covered, but down the outside, Wayne Gardner, fantastic. A lot of action at the start as usual, and just after the... Whoa! That was Larry Perkins' car.
Stephen Richards is who he
Right into the back of Stephen Richards' car there, and he's losing positions. A bit of damage to the Castrol Commodore. We'll find out. There's Wayne Gardner, meanwhile, in control of the race. John Bowe in second position, Lowndes in third.
I believe that's Brock.
It's actually Brock in third. So Lowndes has gone right back to seventh position. He got really served up in that first corner. So it's Brock in third, Scaife in fourth, Seaton in fifth, Ingall in sixth, Lowndes in seventh, and it's Jones, Johnson and Stephen Richards, the first of the privateers.
Well, it's amazing, totally different complexion over this second heat of the championship now. Craig Lowndes with an awful lot of work to do. Peter Brock will be pleased about this.
You see a big tyre mark in the side of Brock's rear door there. There's Craig Lowndes, locked in behind Russell Ingall.
This will be a good test for Craig. He's, I wouldn't say he's had easy races, but he's certainly been at the front for the last couple. And as he seems to respond very well to pressure. He drove very, very well in the race at Eastern Creek when Gardner was coming at him. And here we got Mark Scaife, who also is very hungry for points at the moment. He didn't have a good run at Eastern Creek, and he needs to get as many as he can this weekend.
Look at that, Stephen Richards just on the back of Dick Johnson's car there. The Valvoline Cummins Commodore, the first of the privateers, as they lead down the main straight once again. Here's Ingall, there's Lowndes. These cars are so close and competitive, Brad. They're so difficult to pass in. It's really going to be hard for him to make progress. Should be fascinating to watch.
It will be fascinating to watch. A lot will come down to tyres, of course, and brakes. And there's really two spots that are reasonably easy to pass here at Sandown, which is down into Dandenong Road and at the end of Pitt Straight. So you've got to be nice and close to the car in front of you and just be able to pull out and outbrake them.
7 Sport Race Cam, or Glenn Seaton's Ford Credit Racing Falcon EF. Pulls it into 6th gear, up the hill, once again, chasing Mark Scaife. Gardner, Bowe, Brock ahead of him. Much better start for Peter Brock in 05. And his teammate Craig Lowndes, who just annihilated them in the first heat, got a lot of work to do here.
Seaton very quick through this part of the circuit. You can see how much he's caught up to Scaife. The car seems to ride over the curbs very well. You watch, there we have John Trimble.
Look at riding over the curbs, the off-jet Falcon. John Trimble in all sorts of trouble. Coming through the S's there. He's going to have to wait, fire it up, and let all that traffic pass before he gets back into the fray. Lights him up.
Oops, don't want to take the spoiler off it.
So Mark Scaife hangs on to 4th position. Larry Perkins just making his way back through the pack. Past 6, Stephen Richards. So that puts him up into position 10. So Perkins fighting back from that little bump, as we saw on race cam on the first lap. The first laps in these things are so hectic.
Well, and it's so important to be near the front. You've seen what's happened to Craig. He's gone from pole back down to 7th, and you know, he's right onto this group, so but hasn't made any progress yet.
So here they come, the leading bunch. Gardner still leading from Bow. There's Brock in third position, a bit of a gap back to Scaife. Seaton, Ingle and Lowndes still in 7th position. Here's our race leader, Wayne Gardner. Very competitive run from the 1987 World Motorcycle Champ at Eastern Creek. Finished up 2nd overall on the night. And this is a terrific start.
Gardner and Bow both running under 1:14. Just a fraction of a second between them. Brock not far away. Mark Scaife then. Glenn Seaton, Russell Ingle, Craig Lowndes.
Field follows through. It's Dick Johnson. Wayne Gardner in the Coke Commodore. Engines by Rob Benson, former Holden Racing Team engine builder. Very confident. This new specification engine he's got for 96 has got all the grunt that's required. And certainly Gardner's using it here. Bow, though, closing the gap a little bit.
He certainly is. The interesting thing about brakes on these cars is the Coke team use a twin caliper on the front disc, and the Johnson cars use a water-cooled single caliper to try and keep pad wear down for the long-distance races. And some circuits suit different, you know, the different applications. So here there doesn't seem to be that much in it, but it definitely looks like Bow just catches him that little bit under brakes.
So John Bow out to defend his 1995 title. Take race cam aboard. Ford Credit Falcon. Seaton getting closer and closer to Scaife all the time, but not able to do anything about the Gibson Motorsport Commodore at this stage.
He certainly has it all over Mark in the corners, but as we'll see here, that Commodore is very, very strong. And certainly...
Oh, look at this big run for the lead here as we're just looking at that battle further back in the pack. Bow has absolutely sprinted past Wayne Gardner.
Something's happened to Gardner, I believe, for him to get past so easily down the straight. He's possibly missed a gear, or will watch his car. Maybe there's a slight problem there somewhere, but you know, you just don't pull out past someone in this class at the front of the field that easily. So it might be a little bit of a problem there, as I said, possibly a missed gear or something, because he's carrying plenty of speed now. But if it was a missed gear, he certainly won't be very happy with himself.
Well, we saw his teammate Neil Crompton in the number 7 Coca-Cola Commodore had to pull out of the first heat with his gearbox jammed in 4th gear. So whether that's a problem maybe that occurred to Gardner, we'll see, but he's certainly back on the pace as they come through the S's once again. 5 laps completed, this 15-lap journey. 1/3 race distance. Little lock break from John Bow there as the car gets a little unbalanced, and Seaton tries down the inside. He's more than a quarter of a way into the side of Scaife's car, but Scaife was able to get out of there pretty quickly. Seaton leaving him in no doubt. He's in a big hurry to get past. Scaife fighting for position here. This is the battle for 4th and 5th position. It's been going on for 2 or 3 laps now.
And Glenn will be able to watch Brock slowly disappear here, so he'd be in quite a hurry to get by.
So Scaife, no shortage of grunt from the Gibson Motorsport engine built by Eric Schiffelner. Doing a lot of development work, constant development work, as the Gibson team is so famous for, and certainly not lacking horsepower here in 1996. Here's Lowndes trying to make his way through. He's still in behind Ingle. Oh, look at this. Big run up the inside from Seaton. Looks across the Scaife.
Watch his head shake. He's just, trying to egg that car on, and there's no doubt that there he looks across and gives Scaife a nod.
He's got a big grin on his face too.
Yeah, Scaife is waving back to him. Now they're watching for the bridge here to see who's going to brake last, and I say to be Glenn.
Well, they're cool customers. That's 260 kilometres an hour, looking out at each other and waving like they're stopped at a set of traffic lights. Great cooperation there from the 2 young guns. Scaife almost waving them through. He had the inside line.
Hey, look at Perkins and Lowndes right in behind them.
So Seaton did what he was trying to do for 3 or 4 laps. Pushed up the inside, got the run on the main straight, and got his way through. But look at Lowndes all over the back of Ingle's car. We saw Ingle drive very strongly. Very impressive debut in the Shell Championship in the Castrol Holden at Eastern Creek. And he's showing that form continued here. Craig Lowndes tries to apply the thumb screws and get through on the inside of the Castrol Commodore. That's the battle for 6th and 7th position.
Well, Craig's a championship contender now, and so he really needs to be very sensible about this, which it seems as he is. It's just a matter of, if you can't get by them, no point spearing off the road. Consolidate, stay where you are, and collect as many points as possible.
Let's check them out for you on the Shell race score. John Bowe in command. Wayne Gardner still in second. Peter Brock in third. Glenn Seaton, we just shoot past Mark Scaife there. Mark Scaife in fifth position. We'll be back with more from Sandown in just a moment. To John Bowe. Saw him lose position to Bowe a few laps ago, but he's coming back at him stronger than ever. Peter Brock too is joining in the battle. Pretty high-powered threesome here at the front.
It certainly is. The Dunlop seem to be working very well today. These two cars are just, just cruising along and doing the same pace lap after lap after lap. In the earlier race, John Bowe had a little bit of problem with the front brakes, which is what his problem was at Eastern Creek. And it tends to get a little worse as the race ticks by, but he's certainly very strong at the moment.
Well, Seaton, the fastest man on the track that time around, the only guy in the 1 minute 13 second bracket. These guys running in the mid 14s at the front, so Seaton perhaps closing the gap. But these new 20-minute races, not a lot of time to fight your way back through the field. He's got a lot of work ahead of him still, but up in fourth position, some 4 seconds behind the race leader. They come over the top. Bowe. His mirror's full of Coca-Cola Commodore. He's got Brock in behind him. So we'll see another display of Bowe's defensive driving. Try and keep Gardner boxed in for the rest of the distance. 8 laps completed, 8.5. It'll be 9 laps as they come around this time. Gardner has a real look up the inside. They come into the chicane, looking for a nice quick run at the main straight once again.
Well, Gardner not only has to look for a way past John Bowe now, but he's also got to be aware that Brock's right on him, and that if he makes a mistake, Brock will be past him. So it's a very difficult position. You dive down the inside, but you've got to be aware if you lose too much speed, Peter Brock will slide straight by you. So Gardner will be aware of that.
6 laps to go. John Bowe the leader, Wayne Gardner right on his tailpipe, then Peter Brock, followed by Glenn Seaton. Fair gap back to Seaton, then Scaife. Craig Lowndes has got past Russell Ingall now, so Lowndes in 6th spot.
See in the back of that shot, there's Seaton's car just coming through. He's in 4th position. There's Scaife 5th. Lowndes in 6th, as Gary said, has overtaken Ingall, left him behind. So Lowndes is really charging. 1:14.04 that time around. One of the quick guys out there at the moment. But a lot of real estate between him and John Bowe. Bowe in control, Gardner in second, Brock in third. Gardner's looking for a place to set him up to pass. Oh, look at Bowe!
Lock rear brakes. Yeah.
Oh.
No, there is no doubt John Bowe is still having trouble with those brakes, and very lucky to keep that car on the circuit at this point in time.
So you've got the back up on the curb. Gardner would be getting a bird's eye view of that too.
Well, when you're as close as these 3 cars are, when the first guy makes a mistake, you really have to compensate as well, or you'll run straight into him. So, of course, Bowe's had a moment. Gardner's that close, he can't take advantage of it. He's got to take evasive action, and Brock's in the same boat.
Bowe has been having a few brake problems today. Maybe they're rearing their ugly head again in their seat as he tries to hang on to the lead. But Gardner's ready to pounce. He would have seen that problem he had coming through the S's.
We've gone from early on in the race where Bowe could actually outbrake Gardner a little bit to now where Gardner and Brock are just gobbling him up under brakes.
Look how Seaton's closed the gap. 10 laps completed. He's still got about 4.5 laps left to do something about this. If he can climb onto the back of Brock's car, it's going to be very, very exciting.
Going to be tough for Bowe to hold these guys out with 4+ laps remaining. Slingshotting off the curbs.
That little hiccup before cost them 2 seconds. So, it's a very difficult thing, and they'll be aware of what, though. Gardner's run wide there. He's gone across the top of the hill just a little bit too hard, and that's given Bowe a little bit of breathing room. And, of course, Brock's just dived straight into that hole.
And Seaton's taken advantage too. He follows Brock through, and we look back on race cam. Gardner's been left high and dry.
And held up Mark Scaife to boot.
Looks like Scaife pulling out for passing manoeuvre 2. Now Seaton is able to take advantage. Oh, he's given Brock a tap into the fence. Goodness me.
Oh, there was a definite contact there.
Right up behind Brock as chicane coming onto the straight. Dear, oh dear.
Brock will be, he's having such a bad year. It's just so unfortunate.
See if there was contact there on the...
Had to be.
No doubt about that.
Bit of a nudge there from the Ford Credit Falcon. Crunch.
Because you've got so much attitude on the car there, it doesn't take much of a tap to send you off. You're trying to change your car and get it to come back the other direction. And, of course, you saw just a gentle nudge by Glenn, which I don't think was intentional. And bang, in he goes.
Who's laughing now?
Seaton.
Well, Seaton. And not only that, Lowndes is a big winner in all this too. He's gone from basically 7th to 4th. And as I said, it's just a matter of cruising along, consolidating in position, and who knows where you're going to finish.
So Falcons, different story. There's the Lansvale Smash Repairs car, Trevor Ashby, in trouble. I think that's the end of the main straight. Locks him up, goes off into the dirt. But I think he's been able to get back into the action. There's our second place man, Seaton. Scaife now in 3rd, Lowndes up to 4th. Gardner still in 5th, Ingle in 6th.
There's not much of a mark on the front of his car, so if he did hit Brock, it wasn't very hard.
All this has taken the pressure off race leader John Bowe, who for a while there was totally under siege. First from Wayne Gardner, then from Peter Brock. But has survived and has now got quite a comfortable little gap over the main opposition with the laps winding down.
12 laps completed, 3 to go. There's Wayne Gardner into the pits.
Yeah,
Trouble here.
I'm sure as he ran across the top of the hill, even when they got down to Dandenong Road, they were still pulling away from him. So it's obvious he's got a problem. He's getting out, never a good sign in a short race.
Oh, that's a great shame. It was a very strong competitive run. You can see Gardner shaking his head. He knows he was in a good position there. Just not being able to capitalise on it. Coca-Cola's been in a number of good positions over the last 2 seasons. Just haven't been able to get through and make a race result, a win out of that.
Seaton right on John Bowe's hammer now.
And Lowndes all over Scaife.
So Lowndes coming right back into this battle. It looked like it was all shot to pieces at the start. Right back in 7th or 8th position. Now fighting his way right back into this battle. Look how close he is to the Gibson Motorsport Commodores. They come onto the main straight. They're side by side. Shifting into top gear, 250 kilometres an hour. Lowndes pushing through on the inside. Try and move across to get some nice track to brake on. Scaife stays right with him. They'll go side by side into turn 1. Scaife still on the outside, gets a wheel up on the ripple strip. Nice control piece of driving there under maximum attack.
Fantastic driving.
Come up to lap 1 of the slower cars. There's the Stenican Commodore.
You see Lowndes just hang back a little bit there to get a bit of a run onto Scaife coming onto the back straight.
So Lowndes not successful there. That attack went for several hundred metres.
Just hand it to Mark Scaife. I mean, that was heart in the mouth stuff, and he managed to hold out Lowndes. That was a very, very big effort.
Really sustained pressure from the youngster, but Scaife was just as good under that situation. Flames belching from the exhaust under brakes. Heading back toward the pit straight once again. Lowndes won't give up though. Relentless pressure here from the Mobile Commodore driver. We take Seaton's race cam. He's right up behind John Bowe. This is the battle for the lead. And I think there's only be 1 lap to go. They're coming up toward the last lap. So only 3.1 kilometres of racetrack left for Glenn Seaton if he's going to win this heat too. Braking hard. Swing across through this tight left-hander. And there's Scaife still under fire from Lowndes. He hasn't been able to do anything about it so far, but he won't give up until that checkered flag falls. Scaife bouncing 2 wheels up in the air. As they come onto the rear straight once again, a critical corner this. Picture terminal speed down the back straight. Lowndes will be looking to capitalise. He's really pumped here in front of his home crowd. Great success in Heat 1. Like to at least get on the podium for Heat 2. Has a look down the inside, but not enough room there. Good competitive run from Mark Scaife. Just 2 corners to go.
Watch out for the last desperate lunge here from Glenn Seaton. He's been trying now for the last 2 laps, not able to get the nose underneath John Bowe.
Looked like he was going to take that desperate run down the inside, decided not to. John Bowe is going to stretch it here and win Heat 2. Tremendous race. Glenn Seaton in 2nd position. Fought hard all the way, but just not quite able to pip the reigning champ on the line. So John Bowe back in form. Winner of the first heat at Eastern Creek, repeating that form here at Sandown, and obviously looking for 1 more to finish the day.
possibly with a little bit of brake problem, but it's a fantastic job by JB. His Dunlops were obviously hanging in for the whole race, and you know, he's got a very good package today. I think he's going to show exactly what he can do.
John Power, the winner on a Shell race score. Glenn Seaton coming home in second place. Mark Scaife holding down third. Great comeback by Mark Lowndes to take fourth position, and Larry Perkins coming home in fifth.